Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 Wii review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Boom Blox, which if you've never played it before, it's basically a puzzle game with all sorts of different modes, and some people are probably rejoicing with this because it's only taken us about a year and a half, but here it is, I've finally done Boom Blox. And best part is, little brother's getting Boom Blox 2 soon, so I'll be doing that as well. Hopefully it won't take a year and a half though. So anyway, at the start you've basically got a load of choices. You can play, you can go on party mode, which is multiplayer, or you can go on create. I'll show off the level creator, but don't expect anything too wow worthy, because while I'm usually quite decent at level creators, I honestly cannot fathom how to work this one for my life. I'm totally crap at it, and I'd much rather be doing something like Far Cry's map editor. Extras are pretty crap extras, and the fact that they've called them extras is just really bad, because it's just options and credits. Extras aren't options, options are standard. Extras are things like trailers, they're things like mini-games, they're unlockable stuff, they're not bloody options. Anyway, you can then go into your awards and that and basically view how much of things that you've unlocked, because there's unlockable tools and all sorts. The game has got absolutely tons of stuff. There's over 300 different levels on the game, so there's definitely plenty to keep you going with. I'll basically show off a few of the modes. This one, Gem Blocks, is basically the standard one, and I really like it actually. The whole point is, if you never played the game, the controls, well, they're not perfect. They're one of the things that I'm hoping to fix with the second one, because you basically have to hold the B button, and that moves the camera around and that, so you didn't have to hold that for too long. I pressed the wrong button. You hold the A button, and then you flick the Wii remote, and basically you'll throw a ball. And it's the reason that the controls aren't perfect is because the aim cursor goes all over the place half the time, and sometimes the ball just doesn't throw. So like you probably noticed there where the aim cursor just jumped up, that's because it stopped holding the A button even though I hadn't stopped holding the A button and the cursor moved. So it's one of them things that, as great as the game is and as fun as the game is, it's you're probably going to end up screaming your head off because of certain circumstances that will totally screw you over. But basically, in case you hadn't guessed, each mode has different things that you have to do. So with this, it's a simple case of to get the gold, you've got to do it in a certain amount of throws. So with this, it's one throw. So you're probably thinking, how the hell are you supposed to do something like this with one throw? Well, it's been a while since I've played this, but basically it's something along the lines of you have to find the right block to knock out, and then they'll all topple over, and then the blue blocks will disintegrate. But again, there, I flung my arm into it. I still think the level's going to beat itself, but I flung my arm into that throw, and it was only a medium power. So it's one of them things that, as I say, the controls are going to have you screaming your head off at certain times, because you really can throw with all your weight behind you and get weak throws, whereas other times you can do a light flick because all you want is a weak throw, and it'll do a power throw and screw you over. So control wise, the game isn't perfect, but I still think the game is a very fun game, and as I say, hopefully with the second one they fix the controls a bit. Boom Blox is basically a bomb mode, so I'll just go into that because that's pretty cool. You've basically got explosive blocks and you have to detonate them. So you throw that and it blows up. Now that was pretty useless because that's not what you're supposed to do with a level. Basically what you do is you hit the thing behind and you have to hopefully get a power throw and knock that into there and blow them up and that. So again, control screwed us over a bit, but it's just one of them things. You basically, in getting the game, you have to understand that it isn't perfect. There are going to be some flaws, but I still think there's more than enough content and more than enough variety to make it a worthy game of a purchase. This one is one of the hardest modes because it can't get insane. You basically have to destroy the gold bricks by knocking them off and avoid the grey bricks, because the grey bricks minus your score. So obviously just try and be best to knock some over. Alright, there we go, minus 10, so I'm now on minus 30, and the whole point is you have to finish a level with a certain score. Obviously it's going to be a plus score, so you have to avoid as many of the minuses as possible. Right then, there's all sorts of different modes though, as I say, and there's not just ones where you're throwing things at bricks. When I can find it, there's one of these, which might be in a different mode, might be an adventure. Boots and Bandits, Haunted Night, this must be it, where basically you've got a laser gun, and the laser gun one's pretty cool because you just have to shoot the enemies and that. To be fair, I still think this is wrong, but this is a different mode, so I'll show it off. Basically with this one, you have to move the blocks out the kitten's way and try and block off the enemies, because the kitten's got to get to there. And you're not allowed to just pick that up and move it to the kitten. So you've got to wait until the kitten gets there, and you've basically got to make that accessible for the kitten by moving the blocks, as I say, in the way of the enemies so that they can't kill the kitten, etc, etc. So anyway, I'm just going to cut so I can find this blooming laser mode because it's really cool. So here we go then. Basically, you use the wave pointer as a proper gun and you just blast the enemies. You can also blast the bricks out the way, and you can also, to be fair, blast the kittens. And the whole point is a certain number of kittens have to survive in order for you to beat the level. The green blocks, if they touch other green blocks, will explode, so you can use that to your advantage. And you just basically, as I say, have to protect the kittens, and I personally think it's possibly the best mode on the game. It's very fun, and you can unlock better guns as well, which is really cool. You can unlock all sorts of better balls as well for the ball throwing modes. So it's just one of them things that there are absolutely tons to do, as well as the 300 levels. As I say, there's the level creator, which I might as well show off now, and then there's also all the unlockables, which, to be fair, beating the game fully is going to take a couple hundred hours, I reckon. Obviously it depends on your skill level, because if you're absolutely amazing and you beat every level first time regardless, then you're probably going to beat the game in, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours. It depends on how fast you are, I suppose. But if you're mediocre at the game or poor at the game, like myself, then you're going to end up beating it in a very long time. So basically the create mode's just a create mode. You can do all sorts of things. You can put on as many things as you want, pretty much. You've got a bar there saying how much you can actually fill a level with, but at the same time there's no, I suppose, actual limit to things, because it's not exact. I don't think I've found an item yet that basically says you have 2 of these, you are not allowed anymore. So I suppose there probably are some items out there that I haven't found that can do that, because there aren't off some items on this game. There's absolutely hundreds of different things. There's all sorts of different characters and, as I say, tools and that. So it's just one of them things that you're just going to have to play around with it, really. And I'm pretty sure that the second one, I'm not, to be fair, 100% sure, but I think the second one actually has an online mode, so you can share these, which, to be fair, that would be really cool if you could, because a lot of people complained that it didn't have it before, and I can understand why, because what's the point in creating levels for yourself to play? The whole point of creating levels is for other people to play. You create challenges for people, you create cool modes and just stuff like that. I've never found anyone who's personally created a puzzle where they know exactly what they're doing and how to beat the puzzle, and then found that enjoyable, because again, they know exactly what they're doing and know how to beat the puzzle. So what the hell is the point in having a create mode without online? Well, pretty much out of stuff to say. Graphically, the game is a bit meh, to be fair. Everything looks like blocks, because obviously the whole point is it's blocks, but they don't even look like particularly well detailed blocks. There's some fuzzy edges and all that, and unclean cut stuff, but it's enough to get the job done. Even though I've got terrible eyesight, I've never once came up across a level where I was unable to see what I was doing and it screwed me over that way. It's just pretty much the controls in the game that are going to screw you over. Musically, things are just basically, well, basic, to be fair. They're all like happy little cheery tunes and that, so nothing really to rave about there, other than the actual gameplay, which, as I say, I personally think this is one of the more ingenious and better games out there. It's incredibly long, so there's definitely plenty to do, and I hope that with a sequel they'll fix some of the stuff, and as I say, I will be reviewing it, so I'll be able to say whether or not they've fixed the controls and that, because I personally reckon that this could become one of the better franchises on the Wii. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.